Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly WIP Chat, and if you are not familiar with that, that is a work in progress. I am going to be working on my Josephine Wall Magical Merry-Go-Round, and I have not gotten very far, but I have finished one row, so yay me. I am moving along. It is quite a bit of confetti, which I thoroughly enjoy, so I don't have a problem with that, but I really haven't had as much time as I would like to diamond paint this past week, and we can talk about that in just a little bit, but I wanted to show you my progress. So this is actually the right hand side of my painting. I have it to where I'm working on it sideways right now. So part of this is the sky, but we're also starting to get other items in here, and I can't really tell what a lot of this is yet. I will put what the actual canvas looks like. I'll go ahead and try to put it up so you can see it. But right now, we're starting to form a little bit of a horse or a unicorn here. And so we should start to see a little bit of definition when I get towards this end. I haven't decided over here. This is where the double-sided adhesive, the paper, it actually is halved. I can't decide if I want to go ahead and just do this half and go all the way down and then come back and work on this, or if I'm actually going to go all the way across like I initially started over here. I'll decide once I get to that halfway mark. That probably will be sometime, hopefully this week or maybe by the weekend, and we'll see. But let me get set up and then we will get started diamond painting. Okay, where I am working, it's a little bit of a glare, and I do apologize for that. I am working today in my craft room, which it's really dark in here today because it looks like it's about to pour down rain. And I'm going to pick a color here, a symbol, and I'm going to go with the one that I think looks like Pac-Man. I try to find the darkest one that stands out, and then I just work from there. And typically on this painting, every once in a while, I am able to multi-place, but because it's really very few and far between, I've basically just been single placing on this, but I may end up trying to multi some. There's a little bit that I could multi-place on, but with the confetti on this, most of the time it's just as easy just for me to single place. My cat is playing with a box on the floor, so if you hear something, that is what's going on. She's actually in the box at this point. I hope that all of you are doing well, and if you are new, welcome. So glad that you found my channel. I hope that you like what you hear and see, and that you will want to stay and click on that subscribe button. And also, if you are not new, welcome back. I am so thankful for all of you. It is just blows me away when I look to see how many that have been watching and commenting on all of my videos, and I truly appreciate it. It has really pepped me up because we've had some rough time lately with the move and a lot of other things going on and just trying to get settled, and so this really makes me happy. Let me know how you guys are doing. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a really nice weekend. When you see this, it will be Tuesday, late, probably early evening. Not late evening, but early evenings when I like to post my videos. And you've already bypassed the dreaded Monday. My Monday wasn't bad, but it was really busy. I hope that you've had a chance to do something for you, whether it has been diamond painting or other crafting or reading, watching TV, playing games, or just doing nothing. That's always nice too, just to sit, relax, and not have to do anything. Where I am working is really dark. I don't have my light pad on because I think that with all of these dark browns, it kind of makes it worse for you guys. But I may end up having to or move this around somehow because it's really hard to see. I think if I stay in this small little area here, I might be okay. Although what I like to do on this painting, because it is so confetti heavy, is I just open a section from my release papers and I just look for that symbol. And I will just do the symbol, and then I will have to go back sometimes 2 and 3 times because I've missed some. And that's okay. It's easy to do when you have a diamond painting that is 200 colors and it's 100 by 75. And it is confetti heavy, but I'm loving it. I love Josephine Wall's paintings anyway. For those of you that are working on Josephine Wall, let me know how it's going with you. I have seen a lot of you that have posted in the Facebook group. I love seeing all of these paintings. I've done some of the ones that I've seen, so that's really cool. But I've done them with other companies too, so it's fun to see the difference in the rendering. And I really like that. And then there's some that I haven't seen before. I'm like, okay, I got to add to my wish list. And I'm really worried because with all of the issues with tariffs and everything, I'm worried that companies that I love to buy from are going to start having a really high tariff and tariff tax. And that will definitely reduce me being able to buy anything for a while. And that would be really sad, but I have plenty to work on. But what happened this past week? It has been honestly a blur. We have gotten a lot done at our new place. We are officially, as of yesterday, out of the rental. Our lease actually ended yesterday, and we have really already gotten everything done before then, but we finished last weekend, and we left just a couple of things over there that we just didn't want to bring over here yet because we're not sure where we're going to put a couple of things. And then also we were kind of waiting to see what Dave was going to do about a building, and we've gotten that figured out, but we don't have it yet. And then he also had his car that he kept over there because he also has a work vehicle, and then he has his own truck, and I have my car. So he's just been leaving it over there. So we went on Saturday to go and get it. And I'll tell you what, we have been trying for days to get our property manager to respond. She is the world's worst about responding. She just doesn't. Very, very rarely. So we started on Saturday, and I did not get the link that told us the code to the lockbox. They have a lockbox that they put on the door first part of April, and we had a code that we were supposed to open the lockbox up and put one key in the lockbox, and then the other keys that went to the mailbox, and then our keys that go to the doors, we were told to put those in a place in the house, and that the place would be told to us once we opened up the link to the said lockbox. Well, I didn't get the link, and my name was on the lease, as was my husband's, but because his name was first, they only send the link to one of us. So he got the link, I didn't get it, and he could not remember his password because he never went in for the lease to pay or to do a maintenance request or anything like that. He completely forgot, could not remember to save his life what his password was. And so I said, no big deal, just reset it. So he went to reset it, and it said that that would send him a code, and then to put the code in, and then he can reset the password, like most places. So okay, he did that. He never did get a code, and he did it multiple times. So I don't know what was going on with him not getting a code. I said, well, maybe something's wrong with their site. Let me see if I can do it. So I went in to reset, like I was going to reset mine, and it gave me a code within seconds. So I said, I don't know what's wrong with yours. They should have the correct phone number. We've been here, 9 months, and I don't know what to tell you. So there's a number that you can call, and the number is based, I think it's out of Las Vegas. I am not even sure. That's where one of their corporate offices was in Las Vegas. So he called, got in touch with a customer no service, basically, and he told them, what we needed, and that our agent has not responded. He sent her a message, she has not responded, and that we need to put the key in the lock. And then that also tells them when it goes in the drop box that we are out. We're officially out, and they can go ahead and come in. That now they can take back over on the unit. So we, told them that, and they said, well, let me send you a link, and you can go and do it this way. So they sent my husband a link. He goes and pulls the link up, and it is to set up a time to view one of the houses there. And it's like a virtual, it starts out virtually, and then they give you a code, and you can go into any of the houses that are open. And so my husband said, I don't want to go and view one of your houses. He said, I live there. I don't have any desire to stay there. I want to leave. And so she said, well, I think if you go ahead and set it up, then you can go in that way. And my husband had her on speaker, and I'm like, well, how exactly does that work? Because if you can go in to our unit when we are still there, then isn't that trespassing? Couldn't somebody just walk in on us? I don't think that they allow that. And she's like, oh, you have a good point. And I thought, you have got to be kidding me, lady. You don't even know what you're doing, and you're telling us to do this stuff? Well, then she said, I can't give you the code. I can't reset your password. But she said, the best thing for you to do is to just go ahead and leave the door unlocked, and then send a message to your agent, the property manager, and tell her that you're done. And she said, I'll also put it in our notes, and it will go to her on her Monday notes. And so my husband said, yeah. And then what happens if somebody goes in there, they decide they're going to ransack the place, they're going to go in and steal, the copper, refrigerator, you name it. He said, or they're going to become squatters. And that has happened there before. And he said, what will happen to us? And she's like, well, it's still in your name. You, of course, will be responsible. And he said, yes, of course. Well, we're not going to be responsible for that when you're telling us what to do with the key. So I said, well, let's just go over there. We still have, access. We can see if we can find construction, maintenance, somebody over there that could get in touch with her and tell her that we really need to do this. Maybe she'll listen to them. She won't listen to us. So we went back and forth. And then it became Sunday, and we spent another 2.5 hours on the phone trying to get someone to help us. I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. And they kept telling us, do this, do this, do this. And so we kept doing it. And then they're like, well, only thing I can tell you is to leave the key. And they kept saying the same thing. And my husband's like, well, you know, there have been some issues over there. And he told her what the issues were. And he said, I am not going to do this. And she said, well, just wait until Monday and then you can get in touch with your property manager. And so once again, my husband told her, well, I'm letting you know now that the manager does not call anybody back. And she's not called anybody. We have a Facebook group for that subdivision. She doesn't call anybody back. And we're even wondering if this person exists. So I left a message, an email, and I did for Monday. I sent it to her on Sunday, and I put second notice because I'd already sent it to her. I sent one on Thursday. Actually, it was a third notice. I sent one on Thursday, one on Friday, and then on Sunday, I sent another notice. And I'm like, look, I am not leaving the key in there, and we need to be out by Monday. I need you to contact us immediately. Well, nothing, crickets. So then Monday comes around. My husband is trying to work. And so we are both extremely busy. I sent another email and I said, final notice. I said, I'm going to go to your division office. I'm going to drop this key off if we do not hear from you. And I'm going to tell them a thing or two because they're going to ask, why am I dropping the key off there, which you're not supposed to, instead of doing what we're supposed to do? Because we have to be out by the end of the day today, or you're going to charge us for another full month according to your last correspondence. So my husband called that number back again after it was 11 o'clock. Hadn't heard anything from her, 11 a.m. And so he laid into the person that he was talking to. Apparently, they went and told their manager, and their manager somehow got in contact with her or her boss or somebody. And so she did not respond to any of my emails. And I was the one that was asking for the information because I was going to go over there and put the last key up. So she sent him a text and she said, here is the code to the lockbox, and gave him the code. And she said, everything else will be going through the portal. And he said, well, that's fine and dandy, but I can't get into your portal. And she never responded to that. So I'm hoping that when he gets something, that it will be for both of us. It probably will just be for him. And I don't know how we're going to figure it out, but at least we did drop the key off, and he said he would take care of it. So he came home, put his work truck up, got in his car, and went over there. And he said, all of this, I didn't even have to do anything because maintenance was already in our place. We haven't even told them that we were done, although we were. Maintenance had the door wide open. They were in there looking around, and there was nothing in there. So my husband didn't even need to put the key in the lockbox. He had just told the maintenance guy, he's like, well, here's the key. Do you want me to put it in the lockbox? And he's like, no, I'll go ahead and take it. And so my husband gave it to him, and I sent a message yesterday, and I told her, I said, we are out. Maintenance was already in there, which I don't appreciate, because what if we were still in there? What if we still had stuff and we were trying to get out? So I didn't hear anything from her. I still hadn't heard anything from her. And who knows? I probably will not. But my husband asked maintenance. He said, you've already looked in here? And the guy said, yes. He was already going through and turning all the water on and checking everything. And my husband said, well, we have things that needs to be done here, just to let you know. And he said, we kept getting pushed back. They kept denying it. And so we just didn't use it. And part of that was the half bath that was on the main level. It had started leaking. The actual sink started leaking right after we had moved in back in September. And they denied it, said that we would have to fix it. And my husband said, I'm not going to fix it. I'll fix this. And so he just turned the water off in the sink. And so we had to go and we had to use the kitchen sink to wash our hands, or most of the time we use the upstairs bathrooms anyway. So that was taken care of. And then my daughter had 2 sinks in her bathroom. And in her bathroom, she had both of her sinks, instead of just the water coming out like it should, it sprayed, and it would go everywhere on one sink. So my husband told her, don't use this sink. That got denied too. They said that we could fix it. My husband's like, nope, I'm not going to fix this. I could. I'm not going to, because if they can turn around and say that he did something wrong. And he said, I am renting this place. I am not going to fix it. So she didn't need 2 sinks anyway. The other sink started doing that right when we were moving out. So they're going to have to fix that too. And then the kitchen started doing the same thing. And my husband said it was because of the type of pipes that they were using, and the place is cheaply made. And so we're just waiting for them to come back and to tell us how much that we owe for move out, for any damages. And there should not be anything. There's 2 things I think she's going to come back and ding us for, and we're going to fight her. One was she's done the same thing to other people that have posted on the Facebook group that have recently moved out. And she tried to charge $175 for a safety bar that was supposed to go at the sliding glass door that goes out and onto the porch. Well, we didn't have one, and we didn't know we were even supposed to get one. We thought, well, that's our responsibility. And so my husband made something, and so we used that. And then we found out later on, well, they do give it to some people, and some people they don't, and then they're going to try to get you to pay for it. So we have video of everything that we had gotten, what it looked like when we first moved in. Before we moved anything in on that day, I took a video of everything, so there wasn't one there. And then I took a video whenever we left, a very lengthy video. There was nothing there either. So if she tries to come back, it's like, nope, we're not going to pay that because we didn't have one. And the second thing was that she started dinging people for nitpicky cleaning things. Like, someone did not pull the refrigerator out. There was dirt behind the refrigerator, and she got them for that. And who would think of having to clean behind the refrigerator? And then somebody else said that she got them because they did not take their microwave. They didn't take the microwave out, completely out, and clean in the area where it's built in. Well, I don't know how you can take a built-in microwave out anyway, but I didn't do that either. And we had to pay, as part of the first month additional funds to live there, we had to pay for cleaning for the end. And cleaning was like at least 3 times more than you would pay if you called in a cleaning place like, Molly Maids or someplace like that. And we balked at it, and she said, that's what it is if you want to live here. And so we went ahead and did it. I still cleaned. I didn't clean very good, but I did wipe everything down. I said, I'm not going to leave it. I just can't. That's just me. I was, taught to leave things better than the way you had gotten it. And, you don't just leave a mess. And I didn't want them to think, oh, these people are slobs. And my husband's like, why? Why does it matter? And I told him, it's the same thing whenever we go on vacation. I have to have my house clean before I leave, so I come back to a clean house. And he doesn't get it. But I'm like, I just can't. So I didn't clean really good, but, I just kind of dusted, cleaned up, straightened up, here and there, wiped down the counters, cleaned the bathrooms, and they're not going to have to do very much. So they're getting an easy $500. But anyway, I am so glad that is done. But now we're waiting. But I cannot believe the ordeal of having to get out of there. I was a property manager for several years. And I told my husband, I said, I worked in a corporate office with several property managers. And if any of us did any of the things like this company did, we would have gotten written up and then we would have been let go. Because things that she did, things that they didn't do, and it was awful. I enjoyed living there at the beginning because it was quiet, but then they started having more and more people to move in. It was a fairly new place. They kept adding more and more homes. And by the time that we were looking for houses, I'm like, I'll be so glad to find one and we will not have to deal with this anymore. And so he definitely agreed with me on that. So at least that's done. We don't have to worry anymore. And we can now focus on this house, on our new home. We did get a lot done last weekend. I wanted and hoped to have gotten more done on Sunday, but we were just going back and forth. And then I was frustrated from having to deal with these people. I just said, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to even worry about getting anything done. I did diamond paint for about 3 hours on Sunday. So I did get some done, a little bit on everything on my diamond paintings that I have my WIPs going. And I really enjoyed doing that, but we have still a few more boxes in our garage. And every time that we need something, my husband will say, do you know where so-and-so is? And I said, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. I would say, it's in a box. It's in the garage and it's in a box. I know exactly where it is. I don't know which box it's in, but I know exactly where it is. So I am just going through and working on getting all the boxes done. And when my husband put the boxes in the garage, I said, let's put, the kitchen boxes over here. They clearly say kitchen on them. And let's put, my craft stuff and your stuff and Paige's stuff separate so I'll know what I need to do, what Paige needs to do. I want to get the kitchen set up first. Well, then he started setting up boxes just wherever. So I didn't know where the boxes were. I finally got familiar with where everything was. Well, then as I would start to get a area halfway clean in the garage, then and unbox and everything, then he would go in the garage and he would start reorganizing. So I never could remember where everything was. And then we had some of the boxes that what's left now that's still in the garage. Instead of us going and having to get more boxes that we had in storage, we would just come over here. My husband started emptying some boxes. If there's no point in putting more boxes together, he would start emptying boxes. We would reuse some of the boxes, and then he would start taking them out before I had time to put names and everything on them of where everything goes. He didn't see a problem with that. I'm like, oh, of course you don't. But when you need something, you're going to see a problem. And so, yes, he did. So now I think I have about 5 or 6 more boxes left, but we have not gotten into the storage buildings that we've been paying for. Most of that is my husband's. So I don't have to worry. There's some Christmas boxes. I clearly know which ones those are. Those will stay in the garage until he gets a building to put them in, which we haven't gotten yet. But that will come. Everything will come in time. But we are absolutely loving living here, all of us, which is what we all really needed, because for the longest time we all felt pretty much displaced. And I have even put a couple of pictures out already that I knew where I wanted them to go. And then we've put a couple of things on the wall. And so it's starting to look more and more every day like home. And that is really important to me. I didn't realize how important that was, but apparently I need my things. I need to be surrounded by my things. And now I am feeling so much better. Didn't even know I felt bad really until after I moved here, and I thought, wow, I feel more at peace than I have in a very long time. So it will get that way more and more, especially as we move into the summer months. I'll have more time, even though I'm teaching 4 classes in the summer, and all of them, they're not full yet, but they're getting there. So I think by the time that summer classes actually start, I'm going to have at least 3 of my 4 classes are going to be full, which means I'll have about 30 students in each one. So we'll see. And it is much faster pace in the summer. It's more laid back, but it is a much faster pace. And I'm already feeling the sting of May, and we're not even in May yet. Close, but not close enough. And I'm going to be going out of town next week for my daughter's graduation. It's going to be a very fast trip, but I'm going nonetheless. And I've got to get ready for that. I'm going to have to take my computer with me. I wouldn't really have to since it's such a short trip, but if for some reason I get stuck, which I have to change planes, and where I have to change planes, it's notorious for being late, having issues, and then we have to wait. Last time, Paige and I waited 12 hours before we were able to get out of there. I was almost to the point of, let's just get a rental car and I will drive home. But we waited and we finally got out of there, and Madison has done the same thing every time. So hopefully everything will be good. I will not have to worry. I am going a day before graduation just in case, because you never know. There shouldn't be any problems with weather or anything like that. I've been looking. She's been, watching too. Her dad's also going. So he is going the day before me, and he's never been there before. So that will be an interesting trip for him. He's coming back the same time that I am, but he's going a day before. So I guess if all else fails, at least one of us will be there if I get stuck and can't make it. But it's later in the evening on graduation day, so I should be fine. But we'll see. So be thinking about me next week, but I should not have a problem with at least getting a WIP Chat out next Tuesday. I'm not sure about Thursday and Saturday. I'm hoping I will have time, but we're also going into finals at work next week. So that's another thing. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going into finals. I am not going to be home, but my boss knows. She knows I'm going. I have taken off for annual leave, and so if something happens, then she can step in. I've got 3 other colleagues that can step in. But that's the reason why I should probably take my computer just in case that there's a problem and I have to go in and reset a test or whatever the case may be. So that's going to be lots and lots of fun, but it will be all right. It's not just going for, pleasure. I don't have to go, but I want to go and see my kid graduate from school. So that's kind of what's coming up. And then I might take a diamond painting mini with me. Haven't decided yet, but thought I might as well because I will want something to do in the evenings. I'll be with her for a while, and her dad, of course, and her fiance. He will not be there until, I think, Friday afternoon. He is working about 3 hours away. My husband just came in, so I had to stop for a minute. He has to go and get his emissions and get his tag for his car. So he's got to get that done today or tomorrow. It's due by Thursday. So anyway, we will all be, well, all being my ex-husband and myself, and then my daughter's fiance will also be at her graduation. I don't even know how long the graduation is going to be, but it will be nice. And then we're going to go to a really nice restaurant after graduation, and we'll just spend some time with her. And then my flight leaves at early afternoon to come back home on Saturday. So as I mentioned, we're not there very long, and I'm going to have a layover yet again at the same place, and I'm supposed to get home. Unfortunately, it's not going to be until around 7 o'clock on Saturday night because my flight keeps changing, and I hate how they do this now. They just change the flight, and then they will send you an email and say, sorry for the inconvenience, but your flight's been changed. If you don't like that particular time, well, you can reschedule. Well, no, I really can't reschedule because I don't want to leave any earlier than when I'm leaving. Don't want to leave any later than I'm leaving. I need to leave that day because I have to be home by Monday, because that's when grades are due, is Monday by noon. And I want to make sure that there's not any problems, and I don't have to go on campus if there's a problem with my grades. So I was like, no, I've got to be home on Sunday, or really Saturday, so I can make sure there's not any issues. So hopefully everything will be good. My flight will not change again, and I will be home without any issues. So we'll see about that too. But I've just got so much stuff going on. And then next week, I have graduation for my school. Luckily, I know where my cap and gown is that I have to wear for graduation. So it's just going to start being really, really crazy. And my husband and my daughter will be taking care of the animals here while I am gone. And I'm sure they'll be going out to eat, but I do have things in the freezer in case that they both decide that they want to eat here instead of eating out. Usually they'll just eat out when I'm not home. So it's totally up to them of whatever they decide they're going to do. And of course, I'll have to make sure my house is cleaned up before I leave. And it will be. This house is so easy to keep clean. So far, it's been so nice. Even with boxes in the garage, it is nice to just be able to clean really fast. I don't have to worry about taking forever to clean. And then hopefully this weekend, I will be able to get the rest of our boxes done and get my craft room set up. It's pretty messy because I have things in stacks of where I want certain things to go, but I can't do that until my husband can help me with getting some of my furniture moved around for my crafts. But we are getting there, and I'm so happy about it. I did go today to the store. I'm getting really lazy about just ordering food online and then going and picking it up. I used to not ever do that, and I swore I would never, ever be that person. I would never do it. And if you do, it is, I'm not saying anything bad because I'm doing it too, but I don't see a problem with it now. I'm like, oh, this is really good. You don't have to go in. You don't have to deal with people. And usually I'm there forever. I'm saving time. I'm saving money too, because when I go to the store, I might see something I like. I'm like, oh, let's try this. Or if Paige is there, she'll want to, get something else. And so it is saving money too. So I'm like, oh, win-win. So I'm getting to where I kind of like going in there. Now, I won't buy any of like fresh produce or vegetables, fruit, anything like that. I will go and get that myself. But otherwise, I'm like, I am liking this. I can order it a day or two in advance and then say when I want to go get it. So it's really working out, and it's close by, so it's really nice. So that's one thing that I've started doing. I'm like, and I am okay about it. I even purchased a Roomba. I have not used it yet. I now wish that I would have gotten one that also will mop the floors. Ours only will vacuum. And I've had it since, since Christmas. And I'd gotten it as not really a Christmas gift, but we had just decided, let's get this and see. This might be really nice because we don't have to vacuum as much. So I've got to get that set up too. But now I wish I had bought one that actually mops. I thought, oh, I don't need that. And now it's like, oh, I need that. And I hate to go, I can't return it because it's too late. It's Christmas. And I don't know. If I like it, I may end up seeing if Madison wants it. And then I may go and I might buy one that also mops. So if you have a Roomba or something like that, let me know if you like it. And let me know if you have one that also mops. And tell me if it does a good job and you like that too. I heard they were pretty loud is the only thing. And I was told, you should do that whenever you're not home. But the animals would probably attack it. So I'll have to do it when we're home. So we'll see. And I may even hate it. I don't know. I've never had anything like that before. I've got to get Abby, our cat, another litter box. She is, I hate to say it, but she's a slob. And our other cat was too, but not nearly as bad as Abby. She goes in and she uses her litter box quite often. She goes in there and she will have litter all over the floor. She has one that she goes inside it, but it doesn't have a flap. So when she is going in there, she makes a mess going in, and then when she starts scratching around, she has litter that just flies out all into the room, and it just drives me insane. Every day I have to go in there and I have to sweep because she has litter everywhere. And then by the time that I go back in there in the evening, she has litter all over again. So it's like just a never-ending cycle. And so my husband actually mentioned it. He's like, does this thing have a flap? Where is it? And I told him that we had gotten the litter box for Salem, and Salem was scared of the flap. I don't know why, because she had a cat door that took her to a screened-in porch. She loved her cat door, but she did not like the flap on her litter box, and she refused to go in there. So we took the flap off, and that was years ago. And I do not remember. I'm sure it got thrown away. I said, I don't know where this thing is. I don't even know if you can buy one that fits it. And for that matter, I don't even know where we bought it. So my husband's like, well, if she can get we should get her a new litter box, and we should just go ahead and get one with a flap and make sure that she will use it. And I said, Abby is so crazy. She loves to go in and out of our bookshelf that has like a little flap thing on there. And so I said, I don't think she'll have a problem. So now I've got to go and get her another litter box. So hopefully I can do something about that, because that is driving me insane. I like to keep a really nice, tidy house, and I cannot stand to go in there and litter is everywhere. Like, I don't understand why you get litter all over the place. How can you do this? You're a little cat and you just make the biggest messes. So it's something else that I've got to do. And her and Molly are starting to play more. And if you're new, Molly is a collie. She's like a 50-pound baby. She is older than Abby. And at first she was kind of scared of her. And so now I think that they're both starting to start liking each other. And we've had Abby since October. And I think that they could just start to play. I think they would both be really happy. I've got these moved around. There's my triangle box. Okay, I'm looking for a triangle. And which one did I want to do? Let me see. Here it is. Triangle. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to go with next. Hopefully by the time that you see this next week, there will be some progress. But as I mentioned, I am so busy right now that I don't know. I was hoping I would at least be halfway completed with this before our Josephine Wall event ends, but it is definitely not looking likely because it ends on the 17th of May. So no, I don't see me even getting halfway, but I will continue working on it. It's no big deal. I have just been so crazy with the house move and everything that I just hadn't got to sit down that much and just relax and diamond paint. And I do miss it. I don't know if you guys are like that too, but I try to diamond paint every day. And I will say I have been diamond painting every day, so that is definitely a plus. Well, that didn't last very long. I only had like 2. That's definitely a plus. I've been able to diamond paint every day. Some days it's been just one very small section. Other days it has been a paint gym. But at least I've been able to diamond paint some. Let's go to transportation. Let's go with car. And soon I am going to be working on this glare in here. I just have not gotten around to my lamps yet to put on my desk. They're also in a box, but I know which box they're in, I think. I just lost a diamond. So that's all that's really been going around here. Just, crazy, crazy stuff. I did go and get my hair cut. It needed it desperately. And I do have an appointment for Paige and I to get our hair done before the wedding. I've got to get my nails done too. I have let my nails go, and I hate that because I used to love to get my nails done or to do my nails myself. And I just have not taken the time to do it, but that's something else that I really need to do. And I will definitely do that before the wedding. Madison did find out that she is having a girl. I asked if it was okay if I could mention it, and she said it was fine. She did have some extra testing done just to make sure that everything was fine, and it is. They said the baby is a little bit smaller, about a week or 2 smaller than what she should be, but they don't see any problems. Heartbeat sounds really good. She looks good on ultrasound, but Madison is very tiny, and I'm really tiny, and my kids were really tiny too until right towards the last minute, but when they were born. So the doctor's not worried. They think everything is fine. Everything's going well. She has already picked out a name, which was really fast, but they had talked about it for a while, for really a couple of years, even before they even started talking about even thinking about having a baby. And they knew what the first name was. which I really do like. And then they contacted me this past week and they said, I want to talk to you about something. And when Madison says that, or really either one of them, I'm like, oh no, what could it possibly be? And so I'm like, okay, is this good or bad? She's like, well, I don't know yet. And I thought, well, that's not good. So I said, go ahead and, let's talk about it. So she said, we have decided on the baby's middle name. And she said, I don't know if you will be okay with this or not. So I want to ask you first. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. And so she wanted to name, she told me the name, and I'm like, oh, really? And she said, I wanted to make sure before we make it official that you're okay with it. And I'm like, why wouldn't I be? Of course I'm okay with it. I was like, that's really, really sweet. And she said, I want to also make sure, that Paige is okay. And I said, well, you need to talk to your sister about it and not me. And she said, well, I know, but I wanted to ask you first. And then I wanted to talk to her. And she said, I am going to talk to her. She said, I'll tell her. I said, okay. So she wants to name her baby after Paige. And she loves Paige's middle name. She's always loved Paige's middle name. And I thought that was so sweet. I said, I thought you were going to name the baby, after you. And you were asking me if that was okay. And she said, we thought about it. And I just really want to do this for Paige. And I said, that is like the sweetest thing ever. Of course, I'm, as a mama, and I got kind of, teary-eyed. I'm like, oh, that's just so wonderful. And she's like, are you sure you're not, upset because you sound kind of weepy? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm fine. And I said, you just made this mama heart so happy that you would do that for your sister, that you love your sister that much, that you would like to name your baby, your firstborn, after your sister. And she said, I thought about that for years and years, that I would like to do that for Paige. And she said, I really, really want to. And I haven't ever said anything. And she never has. She has never, ever brought it up that she would like to name her baby after Paige. So I was really excited about that. And then, of course, when she told her dad, he's like, well, I don't really like this, the ring of that. I think that just sounds that just doesn't sound like a new updated name. And he wasn't talking about the middle name necessarily. He was talking about the name in general. And I said, that doesn't surprise me. You name your baby whatever you want to name your baby. And if you decide that you want to change the name, do it. It's no big deal. But I thought that was super, super sweet. Let's see. Why is that one? I've got another. That should be under nature, and it's not. Because that, to me, looks like a flower. I have not used this one yet. So let's look for this together. Would it be under rounds? No, it's not under rounds either. This could be one of the ones that I am missing. I hope not. I am missing 3 colors that Diamond Painting Deutschland did not send to me. It was not in the kit. And I had plenty for one of the colors, and one of the other colors I wasn't sure about. So I may have to wait on this one. I know I have this color extra. I bet I do not have this one, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to let's do a different one then. Let's go with this one that I know I have. I've done 2 of their paintings before and never had a problem. But this painting, I was missing 3, but they gave me 4 colors that I didn't need. So I have 4 colors I don't need, 3 colors I do that are missing. And if I would have sent them a message, I am sure they would have sent me the right colors. But there doesn't need very many. It's just a handful in this entire painting of that color, because I looked on the inventory sheet. That's how I knew that I was missing the colors. And I looked on the inventory sheet, and so I thought, I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to take too long, and it would be too costly for them to send me just a handful of drills. And so I thought it's going to take too long too. I don't want to wait that long. Could be months. And or I shouldn't say months, more than likely weeks. I don't want to wait. So I will just figure it out. I know I have some. I remember I used those on my last kit. I had a little bit left over that was from Diamond Paint Deutschland. So I will see. If not, I'm sure I have another color that is very similar to it. Or I can order from another company and just pay for the amount that I need, which again, isn't very much. As far as diamond painting goes for upcoming week, I am hoping I can get some diamond painting in. I would like to be able to do a couple more of these, or at least if I could just get to this section, that would be a couple more. That would be really nice. And I would also like to work on one of my smaller paintings. I did a video this past week, you may have already seen it, where I showed the ever after, what the drills look like. And they look really good on the canvas that was given to me. The drills fit so nicely and they're so bright. They're just really, really pretty. And I'd love to be able to get another row of that done if I possibly could this week, and then before I go next week would be nice. And then I also started on a diamond painting at the beginning of the month and didn't get very far on that one. I've gotten 1 row done, and that one was for the purple post for Diamond Art Studio UK. And it's going to be really embarrassing whenever I post what I've done, because there's not much, unless I can get some done today or tomorrow. I don't see that happening. But I'd like to work on some of that. And then I would love to be able to work on another, at least a couple more sections of my beast. I would really, really like to do that. That one's so much fun. And I started thinking about it, that when I finished my painting of the Dragon Seasons, it is rather heavy. And it's on my wall. And there's no way that I can frame that. But I just put it on my wall, and I used... Right now, it's just up with a couple of nails. I am going to try to do it better, but it's really, really heavy, and it was 7.5 feet, closer to 8. I said 7, but it's closer to 8 feet, and it is pretty heavy with all the drills that's on it. So when the beast is finished, I don't know, it may be too heavy to even put it on a wall. I don't even have a 16-foot wall, but I could put it in the garage, I guess. Or a friend of mine has a studio that she said, oh, I would love to have this in my studio. I'm like, well, we'll see whenever it's done if, what I'm going to do with it. But I don't know yet, but I'm just thinking it may just be too heavy. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But right now, I am just working on it in 50 by 50 sections. And if you were interested in that painting, but you didn't want to pay that much, or if you couldn't pay that much at one time, because it's pricey, there's now payment options on the website that you can do. And then also, if you wanted to do the beast in panels and sections, she's also selling it 100 by 100 panels. And so that is really cool. And that would be to where you could do, just purchase it by the panel. I don't know how much it is per panel, but that would be a total of 5 panels, and it would still equal to the same painting that I have. It would just be in panels. So because the owner is doing that, I am thinking I might do mine like that too, and just do it like 100 by 100, and then do it as a panel, even though mine is just the one long piece. Do it as a panel, and then I can say, okay, that's a finish because that does equal what she has already out there. So then I wouldn't feel like I was cheating or anything like that. And that way, I think that others who are saying that that was cheating and that is embellishing numbers, which I don't think it is, but if embellishing numbers, I could say, well, the owner is doing 100 by 100 panels, and that's exactly what this is. So I may do it that way too. I don't know yet. I'm a long way from the 100 by 100 because I'm only working on that in between when I'm working on other kits. If I, just am itching to do that, or if I just want to do just a small section, I'm not spending a huge amount of time working on it. Although I would like to get a 50 by 50 section done a quarter, or even a 100 by 100 section done a quarter. But that won't start until after this quarter. After things start to slow down a little bit, I really need to slow down some. But after May, I'll have the whole month of June where I don't have anything planned. But July, I'll be going on diamond painting retreat, and I'm sure not going to take that one with me. But I will take a smaller diamond painting, and if it's one that I've already started on, I'll take that one, but I may start on something new. I do need to work on a Mandy Manzano, but they're all pretty big too, so I don't think I'll take that with me. So I don't know what I'm going to take yet. I know a lot of people are already asking, what are you going to take? Or I'm going to take this, or talking about it in the Facebook group that we have for the retreat. And it's like, I don't know yet. It's still too early for me to decide what I'm going to take. I'll probably wait until right before I go and then see what I want to work on. Because it's a lot of diamond painting that we try to do while we're there. So I will have to start thinking about that probably sometime in June, what I'm going to take. And as far as videos, the upcoming videos, I will have my month-end video for April. That will go out on Saturday, barring any complications or anything. And then on Thursday, I do have another completion. It's on minis, but it's a completion. So I will go ahead. I have that one ready to go on Thursday. My husband's birthday is also on Thursday. So we will have a dinner for him, and then we will have cupcakes because that's what he wants. So we'll have cupcakes for him, and then we'll have dinner. And hopefully we'll be able to sit outside and enjoy the evening. And if we do, then I will be diamond painting one of my minis. I don't like taking my other ones outside, but I don't mind taking the minis out there. I do need to kit up another set of minis that I can start on and hopefully take with me. They're so easy to travel with that I would like to do that. I'm also going to work on some minis that I am going to give to my best friend, and she'll be going to Madison's wedding. That's in May, and she'll be going to her wedding, and so I would really like to go ahead and give her that while we're there, although I'll see her again probably in June, so I will give it to her then if I don't have it done. So once I get settled back in from going to see Madison, I'll be seeing her again. And we do have dresses. Her dresses are ready. I just can't decide what shoes I want to wear with it. And I'm going to go buy Paige some shoes. She didn't want new shoes. And I said, are you sure? No shoes, Mom. I like the shoes that I have. I never wear those. I'm going to wear those. Okay. And so then the other day she's like, when are we going shoe shopping? I said, you told me you didn't want shoes. Well, I think I changed my mind. I'm like, okay. Then we're going to have to go and look for shoes then. So I'm going to be looking for shoes soon. But it'll be easy. She has to wear black. That was another requirement that Madison wanted all the girls to wear black shoes. So it's getting closer. We've been planning this for over 2 years. And I think everything is done at this point. We're just waiting on her dress. It's been at the seamstress for a while. And the seamstress is doing some major alterations on it, but she said that she'll be done next week and Madison can go and try it on and make sure that the sleeves and everything that the lady added to it, that it looks good and it's up to Madison's specifications. So we're getting there. So I think I'm going to stop here. I have done half of a square, so that's pretty good. I've gotten some more done. It's just more and more of the sky. It'll be nice whenever I'm doing more than just that, where I can start actually seeing part of the carousel. But it's a lot of sky because the carousel is up in the sky. So maybe when I get to the center of this, maybe in the next month or so, I will be able to start seeing more. But I'm happy with it. I am going to rearrange. I do have some giveaways from last week with the keyword home. And then this week, if you are participating in the JWall event, I will also tell you what you're going to be receiving for next week. I'll also let you know what is for this current week, and then I will give you a keyword. I'm going to rearrange, get my computer, and then I will be right back. Okay, you guys, before I forget, let's have the secret word for next week's prizes to be Wall in honor of Josephine Wall. So W-A-L-L lowercase, and you can just have any sentence that you want as long as you have the word wall in it. So for week 3 that I am about to spin for, we have Creations Morin. We also have Wendy K Designs. We have Diamond Painting Deutschland, and then also Bijou Bliss. And that will be a tray. The other 3 will be gift certificates. And then once I do go ahead and spin the wheel, I will check to make sure that person is eligible to win. And then if they are, I will call out the name. So make sure that you are eligible for next week. So for week 4, for next week, we're going to have Black Dahlia. We have DP Gal Creations. We have Diamond Painting Shop. Also Diamond Painting with Sparklers. We have Diamonds and Dragonflies. And that is Heather. We also have Bella Art Diamonds. And make sure that you are following Kimpa's Crafts, because she does have other prizes than what I have. So we are both giving away prizes weekly. You still have plenty of time to win. So make sure that you have completed the Google form. And also, we're not requiring that you show progress every week. The last week for the grand prize, we will require it, but we would love to see them. So if you would like to continue posting in the Facebook group, we would love to follow you. So I'm going to move everything around and get ready to spin the wheel, and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, I have the filter word, and that word is home. And then I'm going to click on continue. We have 28 comments for this week. So let's pick a winner. I'm hoping I'm saying this correctly. Marie Jose Hamill. She says, hi, Debbie. Congrats for your new home. Happy to see your progress. And thanks so much, Marie. And Make sure that you do contact me via either my email, or you can contact me through Facebook and just give me your email address. I've also verified to make sure that she meets all the qualifications, and yes, she does. So congratulations. Please click on the like button. Also, if you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you. Just click on that subscribe button. Make sure you do click on the notification bell so that you are notified of any future uploads. And as always, happy diamond painting. Bye.